requires discipline, strategy, and finely honed skills. Traders are up against the best and brightest Wall Street has to offer. At TraderInsight.com, you can look over the shoulder of one of America's top traders. Join Dr. Adrian Manz and a cast of highly talented traders as they earn their living navigating the markets, one stock at a time, one trade at a time. TraderInsight.com. Strategy, discipline, results.
For TraderInsight.com, this is Adrian Manz, and this is Stocks and Sectors on the Radar for Friday, November 14th, 2008. Well, Thursday, the market dealt up just what the doctor ordered, right? I've been looking for this move down to retest the 79.50 area, and we got it. We bounced. We wound up back at the Monday close, right at the 20-period simple moving average. Undid a lot of the damage that was done this week, at least for the time being, and set us up going into Friday wondering what the heck is next. As you know, these massive moves are not something that I'm a particular fan of because they tend to unwind as quickly as they wind up. But in the short term, if we're bullish, we're going to be looking at these highs here, these 96.60 highs, as a possible area for the market to leg to the upside. The more likely scenario on all the bad news that came out today after the close, all the bad economic stuff we've got, all the bad earnings things, is that we're going to get some additional activity in this range here, which is just fine with me. If we could unwind all the bad stuff that has to be unwound right in there, we'd be in really good shape going into the beginning of the year. We'd have a shot at a very decent move to the upside in early 2009 trading. That all remains to be seen. Let's just see what happens over the next couple sessions. Are we going to retest those lows again? Are we going to try and make a move to the upside? Nobody knows at this point, but anything is possible, certainly in this market. Today we traded almost 2 billion shares. The Dow closed up 552.5 points. And boy, we had 2,312 stocks advance and 803 decline. That is the mirror image of what's been happening for the last couple sessions, right? So the Dow is just doing its thing just like the rest of the markets are. The S&P 500 gave us the same kind of a move today, big bounce on the big index. The NASDAQ 100, look at that. We've been saying, you know, that there's not much support underneath it, and that if it goes, there's nothing but a precipitous drop for it. And if the Dow wouldn't have bounced today, if we wouldn't have had that technical level in place, I think it could have been really bad news for the NASDAQ 100 and the NASDAQ comp. Now, what about the trading that Julie and I did here personally? We had, of course, from the intraday trading plan, for those of you who subscribe to that or who are following along with what we do there, we had Anglo Gold, which gave us a 1556 entry, an initial target of 1463. Look where it closed on the day. This is why I keep saying, you know, you don't care. You got to follow the pattern and look at what it did. It closed at the top of the range. Over the course of the day, it did exactly the opposite by the time it closed of what we thought it was going to, but that's not before the stock opened, traded lower, and gave us the profit target. And the same thing happened across the board in everything that we've been looking at from Gardner, Denver. Same dance, right? Opened low, moved lower, got us in, hit our target, got us out of the trade, and reversed higher on the day. Manulife Financial, same thing. Yesterday I said I was watching the financials. I had some in my trading plan as well. And Omnicom, same thing here in the business services sector and advertising. This thing went, made a move lower, reversed, and closed high, but gave us a profit target. So it's always important to plan the trade and trade the plan and not worry too much. I don't even turn CNBC on during the day. I like to just see what the market's giving me and deal with it as it comes. Now, we also had, recall yesterday, we talked about the financials here in this column, and Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Merrill Lynch were all really good candidates for the same kind of move, as was, of course, Bank of America, which was really the big one of the bunch that we talked about yesterday. It didn't manage to close very well at all on the session, and it certainly had some major deconstructive price action, taking it all the way down to 14.85. You know, if you were one of the guys who managed to catch a short on Bank of America, and there were lots of good potential entries on that one, you were pretty happy by the time that it reversed and gave you an indication that it was time to head for the exits. So, what about Friday? What am I going to look at? Well, looks to me like some of the oil services, energy stocks are going to be in play. I've got Sunoco on the radar for Friday's trading. This one made a fastball move, got up above the 50-period simple moving average, got through some resistance on the daily chart that I've been watching for a while. We got through some of this garbage back here earlier in the year, up and above that, into that range. That tells me that we might very well see a move from that closing high there that retests some support and resistance up around the 37.59 area if the sector and the market make a strong move tomorrow. So always got to watch the sectors, always got to know what's going on. So whether it's oil and gas or some of the fuel wholesalers, here's INT, World Fuel Services Corporation, this one too, big fastball day on the session. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of market cycles and following market cycles, and that my Around the Horn was written with the cyclical nature of the markets in mind in the development of the patterns. Right, so here we have this fastball type 2 setup that we had today, fastball on a consolidation. That's right on the heels of a line drive setup. That's right on the heels of a switch hitter setup and a 3-2 pitch setup. So those things are all starting to fall into place a little bit better than they have been over the earlier parts of the year. We're just going to hope that the market keeps making sense and keeps handing us profits. And finally, we've got EOG Resources. We see here that this area represents a major support and resistance, so I'm not too concerned that the stock didn't manage to break above that. It had a $13 day today, so not being able to break above 84.97 here was not my biggest concern. I'm going to watch for that move possibly to happen tomorrow, and if it does, this move up to $90 might be the long-term result. Anywhere in that range is where I'm going to be looking to take profits, though, because I'm not carrying anything overnight in this market, anything ever, because I am just I've been too rattled too many times by what happens on these big opens. So if you have any questions about what I'm looking at, give me a jingle or send me an email at adrian@traderinsight.com. And by all means, have a good trading day on Friday, and we will do a wrap over the weekend that takes a look forward at what we can, what I think we can expect next week.